You've probably heard of attachment styles, mainly anxious, avoidant, and secure, and maybe even labeled one yourself or your partner. But I want to say something that might surprise you. Your attachment style doesn't actually matter unless you use it as an excuse to stay stuck in your relationship. When I was at the lowest point in my relationship before I married my husband, when we were still dating, I had no idea what my attachment style was or what his attachment style was. When I look back now, I can see it so clearly. I was anxiously attached and he was avoidant. Classic combo, right? But at the time, I didn't have a label. I just had pain, confusion, and a deep desire to emotionally connect again. And recently, my husband actually put a month of our text from that season in our relationship into Notebook LM. And we listened to a podcast diagnosed me with an anxious attachment style. But you know what? That did not fix us. And knowing that back then wouldn't have changed much if you asked me, because healing doesn't happen from naming it. It happens because, or in my case, it happened because I learned to lead myself differently. That's what I want to teach you today. Hi, gorgeous. Welcome back to the channel. Mireille Nicole here, your go-to holistic relationship coach. And I cover all things love, non-toxic living, and healthy eating on my channel. Now, before we dive in, I created a free relationship success checklist to help you rebuild emotional safety and connection, no matter what your attachment style is. You can download it right now using the link in the description below. Now, here's what I've learned, both personally and from coaching dozens of women. Knowing your attachment style can be helpful. Yes, that's fine. It gives you language, it gives you certainty and clarity. But here's the trap. When you outsource your agency to a label, you trade growth for certainty. And sure, like certainty feels comforting, it's reassuring, it explains things, but growth is what actually builds a relationship. It's when you move beyond the knowledge and the labels and the diagnosis and into action. This isn't easy. It takes radical self-responsibility. Your attachment also isn't a life sentence. It's just a starting point. The popular book Attachment by Amir Levine even says so. It's like knowing your blood type. It's useful information, but it's not going to heal you necessarily from disease. What actually changes your relationship are skills, emotional, energetic, and practical skills that you apply consistently over time. I don't want you to just know your attachment style. I want you to grow through it. So what actually matters more than your attachment style then? I categorize them under 4 pillars, which are the foundation of every healthy, fulfilling relationship, no matter what your attachment style is, whether you're anxious or avoidant or fearful or dismissive or disorganized or anywhere in between, even secure. These 4 pillars are where your focus should be to have and maintain the connection you desire and your happily ever after. So number 1, emotions, understanding your emotions and not so much managing them. If you're anxiously attached, your emotions can feel like tidal waves. I know they did so for me, but learning emotional mastery teaches you to surf them instead of drown in them, or in my case, to e-foil them, because we have an e-foil at our cottage and it's something my husband and I like to do together. Emotional mastery isn't about controlling your feelings, it's about understanding them and then using them to lead yourself. When you recognize your triggers, when you can name your needs and hold your emotions without projecting them on your partner, you create safety for both yourself and your man. This is especially powerful for women like you, the strong ones, the caretakers, the peacekeepers, because you've learned to carry emotions, everyone's emotions, instead of feeling your own. When you become fluent in your emotional landscape, you stop reacting and you start relating. Number 2, energetics, the invisible language of connection. You've probably felt this before. When your energy shifts, everything in your relationships too. And if you're an empath like me, you're especially going to feel this. So your tone, your posture, your presence, they speak louder than words. And understanding relational energetics in your relationship means knowing when to lean in, when to soften, and when to stand in your truth. not manipulation. It's not playing games. It's actually alignment. If you're avoidant, your energy often withdraws for safety. But when you understand relational energetics, you can learn how to stay present without feeling trapped. And if your partner is the avoidant one, knowing energetics will help draw him back in and feel safe. When you regulate your energy, your partner feels it, and suddenly connection becomes possible again. Number 3, communication, the bridge between hearts. Most couples don't fall apart because of what they're saying, but how they're saying it, and often what they're not saying too. Communication that heals isn't about getting your partner to change or telling him he's being avoidant and labeling him. It's about being real. When you can express your needs without blame, your boundaries without guilt, your truth without shutting down, you create emotional safety. And this is what invites connection back into the relationship. For anxious and avoidant partners alike, communication becomes that bridge. It transforms either panic or shutdown into understanding and safety. I teach my clients communication frameworks that sound natural, not scripted, so that you can speak from your heart and not your defense mechanisms or not from your attachment style. And number 4, harmony, navigating conflict without losing connection. Conflict is inevitable in a relationship, and it's actually necessary for growth and even satisfaction in your relationship. When you guys can overcome obstacles together, like maybe different attachment styles or the classic avoidant and anxious combo, that's when your bond becomes unshakable. That's when you start believing as a couple, wow, we can get through anything. Look how far we've come. No matter your attachment style, harmony is where you both heal. It's where anxious learns to trust space and where avoidance learned that closeness can feel safe. Disconnection doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that you're human and there's more for you guys to learn about each other. Harmony is the art of finding your way back to love together. So when you learn how to regulate, to repair, to realign after arguments, you stop fearing conflict and start using it as fuel for growth. That's when resentment and frustration fades and respect grows. That's when love starts to feel safe again. When I was rebuilding my relationship, I didn't focus on being securely attached. I focused on becoming emotionally intelligent, energetically grounded, communicating clearly, and being harmonious under pressure. And by doing so, I became secure. It was the byproduct. And that's exactly what I teach inside my signature program, Committed. Because when you embody these 4 pillars, emotions, energetics, communication, and harmony, you don't just heal your relationship, you become empowered in it. And you start shifting your attachment style towards secure. You create that safety instead of chasing it. You attract respect instead of demanding it. And you embody love instead of analyzing it and trying to diagnose it. If this spoke to you, and if you're ready to stop outsourcing your happiness to your attachment style and start leading your love life with clarity and calm, don't forget to download my free relationship success checklist. I'll put the link in the description below. It gives you the exact actions to take starting today that I wish I had known when I was crying alone at night, wondering if our relationship was going to make it. Now, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you consider yourself secure, anxious, or avoidant, and what your partner tends to lean towards. We've just explored why attachment styles don't matter as much as how you lead yourself in the relationship. But to truly experience your happily ever after, you need to understand how to create non-toxic love that lasts. So watch my next video where I dive deeper into 3 of the pillars that transform emotional chaos into calm connection, even if your partner isn't doing the work yet or refuses to go to couples therapy.